absolutely put kinda in the dirt in a way that I don't know if we've ever seen Lorez do.
Yeah, but everybody, we have another set ahead of us. This is, once again, Elimination side top 8. We have Wess up against V3m T4nquilo. So, game number 1 between these two. Let's see how it's getting started.
Now we are going. That pizza noise is gross. We're getting to see more Bodvar though. The Bodvar heads rise up. This is our time. It's awesome to see this. I love seeing Bodvar. D-Light into the side air. The weapon toss goes high.
Okay, looking for that D-Light, looking for that sider, who's swatting away V3m T4nquilo, who is just currently hunting for, of course, as you might have guessed, that D-Light. Wess finding a D-Light sider of his own, and then just a clean down just to finish off that stock.
Yeah, very simple for him. Gonna choose to stay on the sword, throwing away his gauntlets.
Man, I mix up all the Ninja Turtles.
It is sometimes tough to remember like which one is which. Like obviously we know that one is Michelangelo, but sometimes I forget a little bit. Oh, who is Michelangelo on? Who is Raphael? I know Raphael is the side, so he's gonna be guitars for sure.
I've seen a lightsaber, so I apologize for not paying my full most attention. We have not seen the signature come out quite yet. But, okay, D-Light recovery, not going to be enough to do it off the top quite yet. I feel like that we have seen from Solid again and again, and honestly, it needs it. It does not, well, rather, it does not need to KO off the top with recovery that easily. So, V3m T4nquilo had to work for it, eventually got the stock off, though.
Ooh, nice little side light. Gives him plenty of room to get over, grab those gauntlets. And it's also because, like, for Michelangelo, like, a lot of people play Val, but not a lot of people are playing Michelangelo. There's so many great Val skins that you kind of see everything across the board from a lot of different players.
That's right. Okay, picking up the sword now. What do we got? All right, V3m T4nquilo with just a proper whiff punish there.
Wess is playing really well. You're seeing his sword is a lot faster than, like, Yuze's sword. So it'll be interesting if we get to see both of those go up against one another. Oh, V3m, okay. The dodge up gets him there. A simple D-Sig right over the corner in case V3m gets a little bit too hasty and peeks over that corner a little bit
I don't
more
know about that
quickly
weapon toss. I don't know if that was intentional. Wess currently left without a weapon for just a moment. V3m T4nquilo looking for a way to be able to make it back on. Gets hit with the back hit of Downer. Okay, Neutralite comes out. Downer, once again, Wess needs that closing hit. The Neutralite is going to be enough to do it off the top, and he is holding on to this 2-stock lead. Excuse me, 2-to-1 stock lead. Just looking for the next opening. GC side light. GC D-Light not going to actually connect. Okay, they're moving around each other. You get the N light. Chase dodge in. Side light back the other direction. Just trying to be non-committal and maybe cover a cross-up. Side light, N light. Good damage. Oh, but Wess, you have put yourself in quite a position off stage.
I don't know if he did, specifically like with the way that V3m reacted, is V3m disengaged. He hit the ejector seat. Like he was back on stage very quickly because I think he's putting a lot of respect on Wess when he's over on the edge like that.
Oh, they're both just slowing down the pace of the game for just a second. The Downer actually calling out the GC D-Light. What's it going to be? He goes out there for the recovery. He doesn't actually find it. He put himself off stage, but he still fought his way back on. GC Sidelight facing the stage, and then a fist to the jaw. V3m T4nquilo taking it to last stock, but he has so much damage that he needs to make up.
And he's sticking with the hammer here. Potentially an interesting choice, as I feel like a lot of players, although we have seen a lot of like specifically hammer-focused Bodvars today, is that they would pick up the sword and then I'm going to jump around, be very careful, and then I'm going to whiff punish with in light, and I'm going to whiff punish with side light, or potentially I'll perfect dodge into a gravity cancel D-Light. Beyond that, choosing to go for the hammer there, obviously V3m is specifically selecting that hammer because that's what he wants in that moment. But a lot of players would go over to the sword.
We are seeing 3 Bodvars in top 8.
Yeah.
Ugh. How do you feel about it?
What year is it? It's the guy holding up the calendar, except it doesn't say 1984. It's like 2013.
Yeah, that's oh no.
Probably not 2013. It's 2025. We're in year 10. It's
okay. Well, we need 10.
I just need to relax. It's like 2017, 2018.
Yeah. So. You know, it's interesting. I mean, both of those weapons are just so good at the moment. I'm curious why. Specifically at SA, this is what we're seeing, like, continue to succeed again and again. We saw a bit of that in 24, but going into this next game, again, I don't feel like this was particularly strongly in the lead of Wess in that game 1. It feels so doable for V3m T4nquilo still. Wess going to be opting to pick up the gauntlets, which I feel like I know him for quite a bit. Gets in there with the end light, looking for the dash jump neutral. Oh, they're fighting. They're boxing.
Both players giving each other plenty of room. You saw them do like a sword player classic where they do the dash jump, but it's like a short hop and they do it into the fast fall and then they neutral air so they can hit essentially a grounded opponent as well as someone who's right above them.
Okay, Wess. Oh my gosh, sliding off stage, looking for it all. V3m not going to be able to get that big of a punish at all. Okay, neutraling at the same time, fading away from each other. Nobody finds their target. Sidelight is the approach option. And again, they're just looking for the same things. We are seeing the sword ditto.
Yeah, this is two sword players who have a very similar flowchart to one another right now while they're just kind of jumping around in neutral. Looking for one hit after one hit. Nice recovery from V3m.
Yeah, especially when you're edge guarding sword, you want to be below as hammer. V3m has now given himself just the slightest lead. Gauntlets on hand, so you know what that means. Sidelights are going to be an option.
All right, Vem. Going for the D-Light, picking up in that like weird area, going for the jump gravity canceled in light.
I guess optimal.
Typically not used to seeing that, but he's also doing it against a very low damage opponent, so that's why he went for it.
Light is able to come out, still not enough to KO off the side. Will Wess be able to get this edge guard? Again and again, V3m punishes every single signature attempt. Finally, Wess is able to get the stock off the top, but V3m has quite a lead in damage.
It seemed like when they were both recovering on the left side of the stage, they both wanted to be below the other one, but they didn't want to like fade down too close to the blast zone. So Wess clearly wanted to use Gauntlet neutral air to grab them and throw them back down, but he just couldn't get low enough without getting too close to that blast zone that it was really dangerous.
Wess looking for the high recovery, but Vem just ends up dashing onto the stage instead, and he is able to successfully reset neutral, forcing out the dodge. V3m opting to pick up the weapon instead of continuing this edge guard, gets the D-Light into the side, and still not enough to be able to KO, but the held weapon toss might have been a mistake. V3m lets Wess back on. He keeps playing so safely. He doesn't want to close out any of these edge guards, and he is paying the price for it, I would say. He got the stock, he's fine.
Wow, okay. Vem gets the KO off of that. That was Wess being very bold, throwing out a side sig to ride that skateboard over to the right side of the stage. Has the gauntlets. Oh, he actually went for the recovery rather than trying to get below and go for the neutral air.
Yeah, which is surprising. Maybe he was confident it would KO at that point, but I don't think it's the damage for that quite yet. Okay, looking for the D-Sig, not going to come out that time around.
Nice.
Sidelight, wait, catch on the dodge, and the recovery, the classic, able to go ahead and even this up.
Went for the read where V3m was going to fade away, not do anything major with like a dodge down or a jump up, but just kind of fade away closer to the blast zone so that Wess could then like fade after him and then find the recovery.
Oh, Wess going for the recovery, landing with a ground pound like that is so aggressive, but Wess able to find a sider, downer into the GC and light as well, keeping it safe, putting himself back onto the stage, just trying to fake out V3m any chance that he can get. Vem picking up the hammer, and you already know the damage he is able to dish with it.
Man, the like edges of the cone of hitboxes that come out from neutral air and down air. Wess has done such a good job of like floating around and putting that out exactly where he needs to be to still be able to hit someone directly in front of him with that neutral air or with that down air. And he's able to take the game as well. 615 damage. So it's kind of taken quite a bit here for him to find these actual stocks. Again, if we look last game at Lores, across the entire game, averaging up to 176 damage. Whereas if we look at this game, it was 600 plus. So he's having to do more than 200 damage on average each stock.
Now, I must say, I don't quite understand why Vem is opting to play so safely whenever he has Wess in quite the compromised position off stage. Oftentimes what ends up happening is Vem tosses out his weapon, he's finding himself weaponless, but Wess is basically sweating or maybe just has a dodge to his name, and that's all that he needs to get back on and to touch the side of the stage. I have seen Vem in 3 to 4 separate occasions decide, hey, I'm going to stop this edge guard, I'm going to go back onto the stage and pick up a weapon instead, and has allowed Wess to reset neutral. And I have seen Wess get a little bit of extra mileage from that as a result. I wonder if it's Vem not feeling too confident in his edge guards. Maybe he's much more confident in playing it safe and winning another neutral exchange.
That's
but I feel like he has given up a couple of leads that way.
I think he's giving a lot of respect to Wess. Whether he needs to be giving that much respect to Wess, I am not skilled enough at the game to answer that question.
Committing off stage to that kind of a ground pound, now he's beginning to disrespect him slightly, but the game just started. He was nice and safe. Downer coming out, looking to get this juggle. Not able to catch, landing with the D-Light though.
Nice. Nice catch on the landing. The D-Light into the side air.
He did the classic, which is get close to your opponent, see what they're going to do next, and then react and punish accordingly instead of swinging immediately. V3m is now playing with some ridiculous momentum behind him. Wess, what an extension with that neutral, just really trying to get every last bit of damage.
Yeah, V3m's definitely playing more confidently now for sure. You can see it in virtually everything he does, except
Wess?
now Wess has a lot of momentum on his side. He's kind of chasing V3m around the stage. We could see V3m maybe slow it down, go back to that. Oh my gosh!
Get back on, both of you. Okay, that would have been crazy. Wess wanted that side so badly. They both just boot all of the options at once, but V3m just a little bit above, made it back on, but not enough in time for Wess. He got that D-Light, he got that side, and he has even up the stocks. I have no idea what switch just flipped in Wess.
It was really patient and really smart of V3m to continue going up rather than tunnel vision and push towards the stage, because Wess was pushing into him, so they would have ended up running into each other regardless if V3m wanted to take the straight shot back to the stage. But by going up, he still gives himself enough room to like down air back to the stage and use his movement in the air that doesn't require dodges or anything like that to get over. So I love that choice. Even though he did end up losing that stock, he still of course has the lead in the long run, but the fact that he went straight up, forcing Wess to come to him rather than going to Wess, such a smart choice.
V3m, he is securing this lead for himself. The GCD light though into the recovery, and Cider, Wess sweating on the way back down, tries to lean in with the Cider, not enough momentum to actually threaten V3m there. Oh god!
Oh, no! I think V3m might have panicked a little bit, and the fact that like Wess was holding it, the longer he held it, the more tension built up, the more potential energy was built up, and V3m, I feel like it was analysis paralysis, and he was like, he's still holding this, where do I go? Do I go here? I just gotta jump, and then he gets hit.
V3m, you gotta pick this one up. Wess is able to make it back onto the side of the stage. He's being so patient. V3m giving up a little bit of stage. He whiffs the cider. Wess got a neutral,
nice.
But the back hit of the cider comes out, and the weapon toss as well, catching Wess jumping. V3m, Nquilo getting himself a game. Finally, not another consecutive 3-0. He has put himself into the set.
And that was V3m recognizing a lot of things in that moment. It was him hitting the D-Light in the cider to send Wess over onto the right side. It's him following up with the weapon toss because he also knew that a weapon spawn was coming on the stage, so he's not going to be disarmed for too long. Certainly by the time Wess, if he's able to get back over, if he gets through the weapon toss, there's the neutral signature. If he gets through the weapon toss and safely gets back to the stage, okay, V3m's going to meet him there with a weapon in hand, and then we're going to be like back to square one. That weapon toss was fantastic. He's there to pick up the sword just in case he needs it, and then can recommit to the edge guard. So just flawless decision making from V3m in that moment. It's reasonably like simple decisions to make, but he made like 4 or 5 really smart decisions, really optimal decisions right in a row very quickly, and it was just a recipe for success.
Both of them, I feel like they're playing so much more aggressively than they did in games 1 and 2.
Yeah,
they're looking
definitely
like completely new people at this point. I'm loving how aggressive Wess is getting in a neutral, how aggressive he is with his extensions as well as his offstage. And V3m, he is fighting Wess off of him again and again and again. So we have game number 1. Wess still has the 2-1 game lead. He's able to get a downer. He's landing back down neutrally, trying to set up this juggle. But again, V3m.
Nice.
Wow.
I think the biggest change is definitely coming from V3m. I think like Wess turned it up a little bit, but obviously V3m is now seemingly much more confident in his gameplay with the fact that he's like willing to open up with that neutral signature that he hit. I think he's feeling very confident now, and he knows that like even though he only has like he hasn't won the set yet, it's not guaranteed for him, but he's definitely feeling more confident in his place in this set and how he can fit into it as he continues this lead.
What a call out, and that is why it is so scary to commit as gauntlets to the recovery when you are also in a precarious amount of damage yourself. V3m once again picking up this lead, and he keeps going and going and going and juggling Wess, looking to catch that next hit and punishing him in all of that end lag of the cider. But Wess with the reversal, with the edge guard, it's actually going to be enough. He doesn't need the final cider.
He's just going to end up falling into the blast zone there. You saw the sweat beads as he kind of rode that wall down. Still has a nice lead.
Both of them whipped at the same time, and V3m was still ready to swing.
Ooh, nice spot dodge from Wess. Seeing the incoming side air and dodging it. He is at a weapon disadvantage. Almost picked up with that D-Light, but you can just neutral light so fast. You're exactly right.
Why
Wess
did he
jumped
jump again to
again.
that weapon toss?
So that was an easy high weapon toss for Vem to catch.
Yeah, that one felt like it was avoidable, but you know what? Wess is on his last stock at the moment. V3m. I have to say, I think his sidos in neutral have been phenomenal. Wess picking up that N-Sig, picking up that recovery. Okay, he's looking to make it as difficult as possible. He's calling out that jump, looking for the GCD light, and
Vem!
I like the attempt, I like the idea, but now all of a sudden, Wess has totally evened it up.
Yeah, this is looking dire. Even though they're even, it's tough to say that it looks dire, but the fact that Wess has been able to even it up so much and he's already up 2-1 in the set, this worries me for Vem's confidence.
Oh, Wess slowing it down for just a second here. V3m picking up the hammer. What Wess has been doing, his adaptation, he has been catching Vem jumping again and again. He's been getting in there before Vem can find a sider of his own. Committing off stage to that neutral might have been a mistake. The D-Light, the sider, oh my gosh, the recovery trying to set up this juggle.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Wess potentially could run away with it. Nice grab there, finding the neutral air after the dodge. I believe it was a dodge up that came from Wess.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a down air, and that's it. That's exactly what I was worried about. Once we saw V3m's confidence being shook, it all of a sudden comes down to like, all right, what's the experience level of both of these players who find themselves in a very tough point? It's like, it seems like the confidence of Wess is rising as it's getting closer and closer to even, and then the opposite can be said about V3m. His confidence is falling.